it is time to talk about everybody's favorite team to talk about, the Los Angeles Lakers. They definitely don't get enough coverage on ESPN or on Twitter or YouTube or Instagram or anything, so I'm here to tell you about the Los Angeles Lakers. They have a guy named LeBron James. They just drafted his son, Bronny James. He's super good. Might be the MVP this season. Who knows? We'll find out. I was just kidding about that Bronny stuff, obviously, but in this preview, I will be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, reviewing last season, previewing this upcoming season, so let's get into it. Yeah, Lakers, LeBron, Anthony Davis, we know all of that, but first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm doing previews for every single team in the NBA. Follow TC Talk Sports TikTok page. Type in TC Talk Sports, plain and simple, or you go to the bio on this channel, click the link, boom, you're there. Hit follow, comment. I always reply to every single comment. Try to start an argument or get me fired up, get other people fired up. That's what it's all about. TC Talk Sports, it's all sports all the time. So subscribe, follow, like, share, tell everybody you know. It's a good time. But anywho, the Los Angeles Lakers last season won 47-35, ended up finishing 7th in the West. They beat the Pelicans in their playoff game, and of course losing to the Denver Nuggets in 5 games in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. They scored 118 points per game last year. That was 6th best in the league, 5th in team assists. They shot 49.9% from the field, 2nd best in the NBA, and 8th in three-point shooting. So a good offensive year for the Lakers. Most of that to Anthony Davis playing almost the entire season, and LeBron still looking like he's 20 years old. On the defensive side, that's where they struggled a little bit and gave up 117.4 points per game. That was 23rd in the league, and they allowed opponents to shoot 37.6% from beyond the arc, 25th in the league. So they weren't able to stop opponents from shooting threes, making threes, and scoring a lot of points. Definitely the big issue as a team for them. Darvin Ham, obviously, he's now gone, and nobody liked him. LeBron absolutely hated him. Signing JJ Redick, who I think is more of an offensive-minded coach. He's just a smart basketball guy overall, so I think those defensive numbers will improve. I think these players are going to want to play for him more than they wanted Ham or Frank Vogel in the past. Definitely going to be an interesting year for the Lakers. LeBron, heading into year 22, be turning 40 years old this season, and he's still playing as a top 10 player in the league. Last year, 25.7 points per game. I was 13th in the league, 8.3 assists per game. That was good enough for 5th in the league last year, and I think we're going to see a lot. I think we're going to see that number increase this season with the way JJ Redick has movement on offense, setting screens, trying to get shooters open, and we're going to see LeBron with the ball in his hands, making those smart decisions, good passes. I'm predicting probably around 9 assists per game for LeBron this season. Also brought in 7.3 rebounds last year and shot a career high 41% from 3. Anthony Davis, as I mentioned, almost playing the entire season last year. He played 76 games, a career high for him. Scored 24.7 points per game, a career high 12.6 rebounds per game. Also threw in 2.3 blocks per game, one of the best defenders in the league, definitely one of the best defending centers in the league, and had 64 double-doubles. He played 76 games and had 64 double-doubles. I'm expecting another big year for him. I don't think he's going to play 76 games because he's so injury prone, but when he's on the floor, he's definitely one of the better players in the league and he should be a big contributor to this Lakers team if they have a successful season this year. D'Angelo Russell, one of my favorite players in the league. Last year, he averaged 18 points per game, shot 41.5% from beyond the arc, a career high for him, and averaged 6.3 assists per game. This year, as I mentioned, with JJ Redick's style type of offense, it's going to be interesting to see kind of who has the ball more in their hands, D'Lo or LeBron. I mean, it's a good problem to have the second best player of all time bringing the ball up the floor for you, or D'Angelo Russell, who's a very good point guard, dishing out assists left and right, can shoot the three. I think he's going to have another big year for the Lakers this year. This is definitely a big three with LeBron, AD, and D'Lo. If they all stay healthy, it's one of the best big threes in the league, but I mean, really all of them prone to injuries, especially LeBron is going to be 40 years old this season. I have to say that again. His 22nd year in the league, 40 years old. But it's going to be an exciting team to watch, especially with these three. I mean, they got Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, who I've never been sold on Austin Reeves. People, I don't know, have their opinions on him, how he's super good or whatever, but he's just going to be another guy on this team this year. In the offseason, Lakers first round, 17th overall, drafted Dalton Knecht. If you watch that one preseason game, you know his capabilities on the offensive side of the floor. Last year at Tennessee, averaged 21.7 points per game. He was tied 7th in all of the country. In 2024, he was a first-team All-American, and he was on the Player of the Year list throughout the entire season. One of the best just pure scorers, shot creators, shot makers in all of college basketball. Last season, also winning SEC Player of the Year, of course. I mean, no one was really close to him last year. He was an absolute stud. Kind of projected to be a lottery pick, somehow slipped all the way down to 17th and just happened to fall into the Lakers' lap. They took him for his offense, as I said, a great shot creator, a shot maker, not too great on defense, and he might get bullied around a little bit, not the biggest in size, but Lakers definitely going after him for his offense. And of course, second round drafting Bronny James out of USC. Say what you want about him, his dad, the situation that they're in. I do not think he is an NBA player. That's not saying that he won't be an NBA player. I mean, when your dad is LeBron James, you're automatically born with freakish athletic ability. I mean, his size is just not there yet. We might see a big jump at some point. He has to spend the year in the G League. I don't see him getting any real minutes in the NBA for this team. Really awesome for LeBron to be able to play with his son at the same time. But I mean, after that, you got to send him down, let him develop his game. We saw in preseason, I mean, it just wasn't there for Bronny. Not saying that it won't be there, but I think he needs at least 3 or 4 years to try to grow, just work on his game overall. He's not going to be as good as his dad, obviously, because no one's probably going to reach that level again. But super cool for LeBron and Bronny to be on the same team at the same time. But Bronny is just not a good NBA player. He shouldn't see NBA minutes. Just let him develop his game. If he doesn't end up being a good NBA player, I mean, that's a shame. He might end up being a coach or something if he has the smarts and the wisdom that his dad now has. But NBA game, not for him. My player to watch for the Lakers this season, not really sure how much he's going to play, but if he is on the floor, it's Colin Castleton, young center out of Florida. 2023, his last year in college, averaged 16 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. I mean, he's tall, huge wingspan. He's athletic for his size. He only played 59 minutes last year in total. 59 total minutes for the Lakers last season. But as I mentioned, he's a good rebounder. He blocks shots. I mean, he could be fighting for that kind of backup center position. It's him, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, who's kind of more of a small forward, power forward type of player. So I think Colin Castleton should get minutes this season. And I think casual NBA fans will become accustomed to his name if he gets actual time on the floor every night for the Lakers. Summer League, he played 5 games, 9.8 points, shot 58.8% from the field, pulled in 8.6 rebounds. So, I mean, he's putting up solid numbers. Not saying he's like an all-star caliber player or a starter on any team really in the league, but I think he could be a solid option off the bench for the Lakers this season, especially if they want to emphasize on that defense because he is a good rim protector, or if he ends up going to another team somewhere. I think he's a solid bench player. He deserves to get minutes, and I hope we can see that this season. My prediction for the Lakers this season, pretty simple. I think they're a play-in team, no higher. I don't think they're going to lock in an actual playoff position. I don't see them missing out on the playoffs. I think it would be really hard for them to miss the playoffs with guys like LeBron, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell. Again, I don't think, similar to the Knicks, I don't think they have enough depth to make any real runs unless they make some big moves in free agency or trades throughout the regular season. But, I mean, they'll have, like, Dalton Knecht coming off the bench, Christian Wood, if he's able to stay healthy. People are saying Max Christie's going to have a big leap year. I don't see how that's possible in any way. I do like Jackson Hayes off the bench, even though I think Colin Castleton should get some of those minutes. Just don't think they have enough depth, and I think just their role players around their big three just aren't good enough. So I think they'll lock into a playoffs or play-in spot, not the top 6, but from 7 to 10 or whatever it is. I think they'll lock up a spot in there. And then once we get to the playoffs, playoff Bron, we'll see what happens. but definitely a play-in team. The Lakers are this season.